back to Whatnot Garage. Like I said, we worked on the 52 Plymouth yesterday. Coming to y'all today to start working on the 65 Mustang. We'll give y'all a little shot of the hood and everything like that. You see, whoever had it, that's a pretty bad Bondo put on it. You got here and here. Got some crap on the hood here. Chipping the paint. There was an actual dent. I mean, I'm sure you can see the outline of this square. That was when I first started practicing on doing something. But right here was a crack. So that's where that somebody had put air breather on here, and the bolt was way too long. The all thread was way too long for it. So it ended up denting the hood right there, pretty much about 2 inches from the crease. So I'm going to see if I can get that sanded down, kind of fix that there. But yeah, today we're going to kind of focus on this, and then like I said, we'll get on the driver's side fender. I'm going to try to tap some of these dents out of this valance that I got here. I have the other valance in the other shop, and then I'll bring in the new fender once I get the hood finished, and that one scuffed up, and these two scuffed up. I'm going to get them all primed today, and we can see if we can get them installed. That way this car will be almost completely finished, and then we can move on to worry about doing paint. Like I said, I decided I'm going to removing the mirrors before I paint. Everything else would be taped off pretty tight on it, and then we'll spray some paint. So let me get everything set up, and when I get done, I'll bring y'all in. As you see, I brought it outside. It's supposed to rain today, but I brought it outside. It was literally Bondo here all the way to here. We're starting to get to where some primer is. All this is, it's got a little Bondo here. I'm going to end up sanding all this down anyway. I'm going to get all this kind of flush, sand this down to where it's flush. I'm actually going to take a flat disc to this to kind of take some of this rough metal down. This car had to be wrecked. I mean, it's originally from Vermont, so it's going to have rust, but they didn't need that much Bondo, because if you come to this side, you can see how much it literally swoops down. I mean, it's a far swoop, and over here they had it so high. I mean, you literally had a 1/4 inch of Bondo from here all the way to where it faded into the back. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I'm going to sand this corner here. I mean, I have some chips in the front I'm going to take care of, but it's not, they didn't need that much. Just put enough on there to where it smooths it out, and just sand it down, prime it, paint it. But we'll get back into this. Let me get my sander ready, and we'll get y'all in there. Like I said, I'm going to knock it down. I put some 80 on there. Usually you wouldn't use anything like this to kind of sand this, but it's pretty flat except for right here in the center. As long as you don't like stay on this center beam, this crease here, that way you don't burn through the paint. I mean, I got to sand all this anyway. This spot here is chipped. I got chip in the hood. So I'm going to take my time on them, but as far as like roughing this up, I'm trying to rough this up as fast as I can. You know, usually use a block sander to do all this, but we're a little bit in a hurry, so and we don't do things correctly. But we had fun doing it, so let's get at it. see if I can find me some 60 grid, and then I'll bring y'all back. Alright, 60 grid is located. That 80 grid was doing really well, but it doesn't seem to be taking out majority of it, so I'm going to go a Like I said, you don't want to go stay too long on these edges, that way you don't burn through the paint. But on this front side, I didn't care about burning through the paint over here because it actually had a rust spot where paint was peeling. I may not even need Bondo because it's not actually dented there, so I may better even just flatten that out to where I don't even need body filler. But I will come back over here on this side and knock this down. You can see where they had Bondo here before, where they dented the hood. Other side, I'm just going to kind of like lightly sand in this crease because that side's pretty much perfect over there. So I'm just going to have to sand it down enough to where I can get some primer on it here. I'm going to try to get all this flattened and smooth to where I can just run some body filler in it. Like I said, I need to get some of this out of here, so I'll probably get the flat attack on there. Knock some of this rust out, get some primer. I'll probably put about 3 or 4 coats of primer on this just to get over this rust. I don't want it to come back to rust. For this here, I'm just going to burn through this paint and kind of get it to fill in. But other than that, let me get back to work, and I'll bring y'all back in whenever I get closer, when I'm ready to do body filler. Alright, so y'all can see I took all this primer off here. Well, not primer, the Bondo. I took all the Bondo off here, smoothed it out. I did put some primer on it, didn't rough it up too, especially on the front side here, little spot here, and in the center. That's just a haze from where the paint was. I buffed it just a little bit, sanded it just a little bit, just to make a rough edge, so when I go to do that body filler, it's got something to stick to. I got the fender set up over here. Wife's got a doctor's appointment, so we won't be here to probably finish as much as I wanted to get finished. I got to work on Monday, so that day's out. So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to have to try to get as much as I can get done the next couple days. Try to get majority done probably Tuesday. No, Saturday we got something going on, so I'm gonna try to knock out as much as I can. I got some rough edges here. I'm gonna have to take my time with it. Got some scratches from it sitting in the shop. which isn't that bad. We'll get this decal off. I got some new decals to put on there. It just comes off the back. It's just clipped in place. I'm just take the clips out. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get some body filler on the hood. After I'm done with that fender, like I said, the other fender is brand new, so I shouldn't need any body filler. It should just be scuffing it up, laying some primer down, and hopefully in the next couple hours I can have that fender done, body filler on both, and then getting that other fender out here and scuffed before we have to leave today. If not, I'll have to get that done, that valance, the rear valance, front light, the headlight buckets and all that stuff. I gotta get all that sanded down, so that's all gonna go black. So hopefully I can get all this done. I'm gonna knock this out real quick and bring y'all in when I do the body filler and start sanding on. Like I said, I used, I think it was 320 to kind of smooth out the edges. I went from the 60, 80, 150, then 320 to kind of get it smooth. Before I go to paint it, I'm gonna go with a 600 just to kind of rough everything up when I go to paint it. But I'll bring all y'all in for that whenever I'm ready to paint it. It's probably gonna be on Friday. Hopefully I can get all this done where I get it done on Friday. Like I said, let me get off this camera here, get off this video real quick, get all this knocked out because it's gonna be some time-consuming stuff and I'm kind of in a pinch. All right, y'all. So, my wife looked over the receipt for that fender. I know I said I was gonna keep it anyway, but there's no point. I'm gonna send it back. If it takes longer for the video, it takes longer for the video, but oh well. That's the way life goes. Anyway, so I got the hood sanded. It actually came out really, really well. The corners came out way better than I thought it was going to do, especially on this driver's side where it had that huge, what was it, like an 1/8 inch or yeah, it's about an 1/8 inch of Bondo all the way across the top of it. The dent in the middle. I'm not really worried about the front part of it because I have that chrome piece that I took off that's going to be going back on it. That hole that was on this side is fixed, but I'll have to get back on that fender there. But I'm just going to show y'all how it looks so far. I mean, it's pretty straight. Not bad for a Louisiana boy that don't know what he's doing. I mean, look, you can't see. I mean, there's the cracks and the blotches are right here. I mean, it follows the hood line pretty well. Hoping the camera can pick it up. This one here is a huge hole right up in this area here somewhere. I mean, that 2-in-1 primer is a lifesaver. I mean, you see the dust is still on there. You shouldn't spray it with dust on there, but I cleared it out the way, make sure there wasn't no dust going to get in the paint. But I mean, it's smooth. I mean, smooth. So I mean, that's going to do it for today because we have to do she's got to go to a doctor's appointment. But what we're going to end up doing is sending that one back. Also, be careful when you open those things and trying to fit them because I sliced my hand all up like an idiot. But anyway, I'm gonna get that returned. Get the new one coming, the new fender coming over here. I may do a little sanding on the fender tomorrow. I don't think we're gonna do that game thing till tomorrow night. So I'll get that sanded. Which I mean, you see, I got some. The dents and everything that was in here wasn't significant. It was like superficial. I know you see like some, that's just dust, like superficial crack stuff. That primer, if you get that high billing primer, it'll hide majority of your scratches. That fine little scratches you got, you can use that stuff to hide some of those scratches. I mean, like over here, I think I put about 2 or 3 coats of primer, but I can see some imperfections. As soon as I hit it with the second, third coat, gone. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff anymore. Just spray it on there, let it ride. I'm not really worried about the holes in the hood because I'm putting Ford across the front. That's where the decals and all go. That's why I didn't Bondo over the holes for the Mustang symbols. I'm going to be putting symbols back on the car, so there's no reason to hide all that stuff. You just sand it, paint it, and put the new the new emblems and everything back on it. But I will tell you this though: when ordering the 64 to 66 fenders, you will have to do some modifications. I mean, I know they tell you that all the time. You see them online. The headlight bezels will have to be cut. I think it was like 1.5 inches. I measured. I thought it was the wrong fender all in general, but apparently I don't know what it was, but I don't know if it's just the fender well, whatever like that, but there's a lip there and it will not fit unless you cut it. So when the new one gets here, hopefully it's in the right one, I'll cut that 1.5 inches off, get it roughed up, get it primed, get them on the car. Like I said, I was saying that tomorrow, and probably have it on the car, because the hood, I'm just going to just prime it all at one time. If I can get that sanded to where I can get primer on to where it looks good, I'm going to just slap the fender back on it. So when a new fender comes, scuff it up, paint it, put it on the car, prime everything, and then we're ready to shoot paint. Hopefully we can get the fender here before the 17th. That way we can get it painted. Otherwise, it's just, I'm going to have to, I may do the painting video on a separate video, and we'll do something else with another car. Maybe mess with the 52 with the springs, something like that. But until next time, What Now Garage. Please like and subscribe. Who lost subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. So I actually pushed the car outside, blew the car off with air, and then used my wax and grease remover to get the rest of the stuff off. Like I said, I'm not really worried about this front lip here, because that chrome piece is going to be going back on. You want to try to keep from touching anything with your hand, that way you don't transfer grease from your fingers and all to the actual metal that you're painting. That way you actually get a good coat. Let me actually pop this hood a little bit. I'm going to prop to it. So yeah, I'm not really worried about masking off these fender wells. Like I said, the fender's going to be covering that, even though probably about good 6 months ago, my wife wanted to actually try to paint this a different color, which was like a little flip-flop paint job. So all the core support and everything like that, control arms, everything's kind of like a purplish blue flip-flop paint job under this. It was just something I wanted to try, because I saw it and she wanted it, so I tried to do a little something to it to see if I could get it to actually work. Actually, it came out really, really, really well, especially being out of a spray can. I didn't really sew that stuff in spray cans, but I bought it in a spray can and sprayed all the underneath with that flip-flop paint job. It actually had like a metallic texture to it, so it actually has metal flakes and everything else in it. So I was really impressed. I think it was like $24 for these cans, which was spray paint. I mean, it was a 2-part kit. So you had primer, you had the actual base, and then you just pick what clear you want to put on it, which I think I did do a pearl on it, which some pearls do have like a metallic look to it, but the paint itself already has so much metallic in it. I just went with a light pearl. Now applying this primer here, it's gonna be kind of rough anyway, which is fine, because when we go to paint this car, I'm gonna actually wet sand all this smooth. Not really smooth, just rough it up a little bit to where it gives something for the paint to stick to. So if you try to paint something on a smooth surface, it isn't going to stick very well. So you want to kind of rough it up a little bit to give it some type of texture for that paint to stick to. I know some paints come with an activator, where you can actually add the activator to the paint to kind of help with the drying process and everything like that. Also with sticking to the car itself, I'd rather just go the old-fashioned way and just wet sand the whole car down, because it's going to have to be washed. I'll blew the whole car down with air just to knock majority of the dust and everything off of it, so you don't get it in your paint, because then the primer's just going to chip off, and then you'll have bare spots where all that dust and contaminants is in. So you want to, even though like I said, it's not going to be a special paint job, I just need to get it painted for the wife so she can get back behind the wheel of it and start putting miles back on his engine. Even though this engine is pretty much wasted, it's got a lot of blowback. So that's what I'm saying. I may eventually change the engine, pull the engine out, and trying to find like a mid-90 302 put in it. With a little oomph to it. But everybody knows who's in the car industry or in the car world, they know it's kind of hard to find a Fox body right now, even with a wore-out engine, 150, 200,000 miles on it, because everybody's wanting to build them as a racer, so they buy them as a roller. Some people actually take the 302 that's in it and cam it, aftermarket parts and everything like that. And with a nice Sunday track car. I'm just over at a primer to get this hood, this one full coat, and that fender out. I'm gonna actually bring the fender back in and spray it in here too, because it's kind of gloomy outside and there's a lot of humidity in Louisiana. So I don't want to trap any moisture in between the primer and the actual part. It's going to get into the pores. Anything that actually, if it's still bare metal or anything like that, you can kind of see some rough patches in there, but we're going to sand that out. It ain't going to be no problem. And another reason you see where you already have primer on it, which is going to be the previous clip, you want to kind of cover anything that you did on body work first. That way when you come back and do a whole coat, there's an extra protection on it. So that's why those spots are primed beforehand. I'm just trying to protect anything that I've done as far as body work, because you don't want to have to do it twice. Turn back around, do exactly what you did before. The whole process, especially when you have a full-time job, when you try to do this stuff. So take your time, do it to the best of your ability. The car is yours. It ain't for anybody else. It's for you. Do your thing. Like I said, the car's gonna be Wilmington white with black accents. I'm actually gonna end up taking the headlights out of the headlight bezels because I'm gonna paint them black. I'm kind of on the fence between a flat black or semi-gloss or glossy black. Probably gonna be a semi-gloss. Yeah, get it covered, let it fly. I'm actually going to let this dry. Like I said, it may look rough in a couple spots, but that's for me wiping it down and kind of getting that first layer. I should have sanded down maybe a little bit, but I'm not worried about it. So it's already rough. It gives something for the primer to stick to. There's no trash in it because I used the grease and wax remover. It's already been blown out with air. The whole car's been blown out with air. This has been wiped twice. So I'm not worried about anything that looks rough because it's just primer right now. We're going to sand this thing down, get it roughed up anyway to where when we apply our paint, it's ready to roll. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that fender in here. I'm not going to record me painting the fender because I mean it'd be the same as painting this here. Everybody knows how to spray paint. Alright, so I got the present sitting there in a box. Came out here, got some filler on that, sanded this. I'm going to actually wait for the inside of this. I know I should have just done everything at one time, but like I said, time's pressing. So I want to get the outside at least done because this is just going to be painted black on the inside, so you're not even going to see any of that anyway. So I'm going to just rough that up whenever I get all that sanded down. I'll just rough it up another day, paint it black on the inside, come back, put primer on everything else. Like I said, all this has been filled. Probably just let it sit. As you can see, it has the actual taper that it needs. I put a thin layer. I didn't go as thick as they did. It was a ridiculous amount. I just put a little bit here on the front. Really didn't need it, but just to get it smooth, put some on there that's actually smooth, follows the actual curvature of the hood. That spot in the back's finished. So what I'm gonna do now is come over here, and I know it's kind of dark in here right now, but unpackage this. Hopefully it's not damaged. In shipping, we'll find out. Like I said, all I'm gonna do is take this here, kind of rough it up. So while that's over there drying with the body filler, I come here and actually scuff this up and get it primed, ready to go. So whenever that other stuff's sanded, all I gotta do is sand that, prime that, and get it all bolted up. Like I said, I got this from a Drake, I think Scott Drake edition fender, which should be the same fender that's actually on the car. I will say the packaging is awesome. Great job packaging it. I mean, there was a hole in the box. I will say the only thing that was bad about this was they ask where you want it placed when you ship it, and it's not Summit Racing's fault. All their job is to do is make sure you get the quality parts that you want, and it's shipped to you in a timely manner. But I did put in the comments for delivery, have it placed under my carport at the back of my house. I was actually leaving to go get food the other day when it came in, and it was literally sitting next to my home, outside, in the front, where anybody could have just came up in my driveway and picked it up, which I don't know who delivered it, if it was UPS or what, but kind of crappy that they brought it, and not damaged at all. But do y'all see what I see? Yeah. So basically I just wasted an hour time sanding that fender because they sent me the wrong fender. I ordered the right fender and they sent me the left fender, the driver's side fender. So guess what? I'm not even going to waste my time sending this back, which means my videos have to be pushed back, because now I have to go back online and reorder the passenger fender which I ordered the first time. I'm just talking really, really well about you, Summit Racing. Really, really well. Awesome. Well, now we got a spare fender. So what I'll do is I'm going to get back online and reorder the fender for the passenger side. And when she says left-hand fender, when I put it in there, I put R8, right-hand fender. So now I have a fender I don't need, which I'm still going to use. I'm just going to use it, order another one, and then have to push the painting back, and I guess the video back. Well, what happens in the car game. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and scuff this up, paint it, and get it going, because I'm not going to waste my time waiting for the other fender to get in. Alright, second day on this Mustang for the next video. So, yesterday I showed y'all that we had the wrong fender sent by Summit, and so I decided to give them a call, see what we could do about it. My wife asked me to return it, and we all know the wife wants, she gets, so she wouldn't want to let me keep that new fender or waste time on the old fender, so she said send it back. So I did what anybody would do, send it back. So that one's going out, new one's coming back in. Should be somewhere at the end of this week maybe, which is good because the paint's coming in. So like I said, this video here might be pushed back a few days, but between the video we just sent out and the car show coming up, we don't have enough content to keep y'all going. So what I'm doing today is, besides cleaning the shop, it's a mess, is we're going to clean off the hood, kind of inspect everything we did. Go out there, I got the driver's side fender that we're keeping. We're going to sand it and hopefully get it wiped down and primed so I can at least get that fender put on, at least fabbed up to this again. So we'll have the hood primed, fender primed, at least on the driver's side. Also, whenever you order these parts, fellas, be careful. Some things are sharp as hell. Cut pretty much every finger I got on the fender. Try to place it on there, which they don't tell you this when you order some parts. Some companies do, but most of them don't. You may have to do some fabrication on them. The fender that they sent me, I'm glad I didn't do what I was going to do. Right here at the end of the fender here, you have a lip. Goes down to your core support. I checked the original fender. It was actually cut about 1.5 inches into the headlight bezel, which means when we get the new one, hopefully we'll get the new one, the correct one, we'll have to cut 1.5 inches off of it so it'll actually slide up on the car. I don't know why they made it 1.5 inches longer. Who knows, maybe just easier on them just to manufacture it and just have us cut it. Anyway, enough about that. So we ended up cutting 1.5 inches off, putting the fender back on there, scuff it up, prime it, paint it. And also, as we can see here on the table, no, there's not going to be any chainsaw massacre stuff or anything like that. Yes, I do have 10 tarps sitting up there. Why, you ask? It's because it's a lot cheaper to spend $30 on 10 tarps from the local Harbor Freight than it is to spend $300 on a paint booth. So I went the cheaper route. I'm going to tie it to the rafters here in the shop, lay some down on the floor, tape off all the corners so we don't get any dust in, and get the spray in. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and just get into this car here. Like I said, I'm going to sand this over here, sand this fender down, as y'all can see. Sand that one down, get it ready, and then we'll get it primed, put on the car, and wait on the next project. Well, today is Veterans Day, and I'm a huge supporter of our military and first responders and everything like that, but today is Veterans Day. So I want to thank y'all for allowing us to have the freedom we have, because if it wasn't for any of y'all, all of y'all, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we do today. I mean, as far as going out and doing things we love to do, or having things like this to do. You know, people who work on cars and, you know, go out and do things for charity and everything like that. If it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't have this freedom, and I greatly appreciate everything y'all done for this country. And I have co-workers who I work with, and most of them have served in the military, and I'm thanking y'all personally for giving us the freedom that we have, because if it wasn't for y'all, none of this would be possible. So, appreciate y'all. As you can see, I hang all this stuff in my shop. Everything that y'all have done for us allows me to be able to do all this stuff, so I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Everybody who's served in the military. Thank y'all. As y'all can see, I got the hood, everything finished on it. It's actually, like I said, it's really smooth. It's got a little bit of a piece here I can take off. Fender, I got it pretty well straight. It has no creases in it whatsoever. It's even the edge that was all dented, it's smooth. I didn't get any other work done. I was kind of busy for the weekend. I just got this test fitted up here. I still got to shave this door down here, which will come in the next video, because I'll be off on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I got to touch all this. I keep cracking the paint right here. I have to smooth that back out and just prime that, but once I get it bolted, it'll all be fine. Like I said, we were kind of busy all this weekend. I really didn't have time. Worked like 14 hours on Thursday, so I got off on Friday morning, so I was tired. I really couldn't do anything. So like I said, summer racing got me my fender. It's sitting on the table now. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of patchwork to it because it has a dent in it. So I want to get this done, so I don't feel like waiting on another fender. So we'll get it fixed, get it cut, that 1.5" cut off of it, get it scuffed and primed, put on here. Tuesday we'll get the valance done, both valances done, get them so we can get it painted. So I'm gonna just go ahead and set this video up, send it out so y'all can enjoy the content. It's kind of like a hit and miss here and there, but still trying to get y'all some content out as fast as I can, as much as I can put it out. But yeah, Tuesday I'll get on the valances and the fender, get all this bolted up, test fit it. If it looks good, we may wait on the grill and everything like that, headlight buckets and everything like that, since it's gonna be black. So I can paint this Wilmington white. It'll be all painted, let it cure. While that's cured, I can go outside to the shop while that's drying in here and get it painted black. Anything else that needs to be painted separately, I'm gonna paint outside, so it'll get done faster. I'll try to see if I either order some new bumpers or fix the bumpers that I got. It's probably dark in here because the sun and everything's way out there. But anyway, like I said, y'all keep watching, like and subscribe. I appreciate everybody who's watching. Views are blowing up pretty good right now, and it's all thanks to y'all. You know, if y'all wasn't watching and enjoying the stuff that we do, then we wouldn't have a channel to keep bringing y'all content. So thanks to y'all for watching. I'll try to get this video out as soon as I can. Till next time, What Now Garage.